I am in Tokyo and today I'm going to be eating each of my meals from a Japanese convenience store. And whilst that might not sound too appealing if you were to do the same thing in your home country, you should know that Japan has a huge convenience store culture. You will find a convenience store on every corner of every city in the country. In fact, you'll find multiple convenience stores on the same street in each city. And because of that culture, each of the convenience store brands offer very high quality food items at very inexpensive prices, which you can combine to make meals which will get you through the day. Now let's talk about each of those Japanese convenience store brands, because there are three big ones. There's 7-Eleven, FamilyMart and Lawson. So today I'm going to be spending the day eating a meal from each of those brands. But for breakfast, I want to introduce you to a lesser known brand. So the store behind me here is a Daily Yamazaki, and the reason I wanted to come here for breakfast is because I love pastries for breakfast, and this is one of the best places to get freshly baked pastries and breads, because Daily Yamazaki started life as a bakery, and even to this day it is known for its baked goods. In fact, you will find freshly baked goods in the store each morning. So let's head inside and see what we can find. I'm hoping to find a pan au chocolat or something very sweet. Right, I have to be honest, this is my first time in a Daily Yamazaki, and it's pretty much the same as all convenience stores. What you have right at the back is this huge wall of drinks. You're going to get your soft drinks here and all your iced coffees, so we'll probably get a nice coffee after we find what we want for breakfast. But in terms of foods offered in each of the convenience stores, I'll just show you what you're going to typically find. So in addition to the wall of drinks, you have a wall of sort of deli meats and deli foods, and sandwiches and salads and little bento box type foods. And over here you're going to typically find your onigiris and rice products, which are great for lunch, but for me they're just not a breakfast food. So we'll come back to another store and get some of those items for lunch. You can see behind me here, this is where all the freshly baked goods come in, but these are all savory baked goods. I don't see anything sweet there, which is really what I'm after, but as you can see behind me here in this, these are all packaged goods, so these aren't very, well, they're probably still fresh, but they're not going to be as fresh as the stuff that was probably baked this morning. I think I found what I'm looking for, but it is not freshly baked. It is just pre-packaged goods, but that's okay. One thing I've noticed about all the pastries and buns you get here in Japan, they're all based around cream or custard. There's not much variation. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll grab whatever this is. It looks like a chocolate filled crepe, and it's very, very weighty, so I think that might fill me up for lunchtime as well. Hopefully not, because I have a few more places I want to get to in this video. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do, because not everyone likes sweet things for breakfast. I'll pick up a savory item too, and one savory item you're going to find in every convenience store is fried chicken, and Daily Yamazaki's fried chicken is the only one I've not tried in the month I've been here in Japan. So let's grab ourselves a fried chicken from the hot food counter, or box, whatever you want to call it, which you'll find in every convenience store. Right, I think this is going to be very filling for breakfast. A whole chicken cutlet and a massive weighty crepe. I cannot describe how heavy this crepe is. We've got our food items, now we need something to drink, and me personally in the morning, I need my coffee. It is far too warm and humid today to be drinking a warm cappuccino or the like, so what I'm going to do is pick up an iced coffee. Now Japan has a great selection of iced coffees, and there's usually one I get in the morning called a morning shot. It's this one here, up in the corner. I'll show you, hang on. This one right here. Honestly, that sorts you right out in the morning. If you're feeling groggy or whatever, that is perfectly sweet and perfectly bitter. But we're not going to do that today. What we're going to do is something quite interesting and quite unique. What you do is you come to the fridge full of cups of ice, you pick out a cup of ice, take it to the front of the store, pay for your cup of ice, and you take it to the coffee machine, and you can get an iced coffee poured into this. So that is going to be our morning coffee. And one more thing I want to show you is, if you're hungover, there are little hangover cures or energy shots that you can get, and they're usually in their own little separate fridge somewhere. I am not hungover today, but this is the energy shots that you will find in each Japanese convenience store. So I'm going to pick one up, because today it is so humid and so warm that I could do with a little boost of energy.
Ice coffee, no, that's okay.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Camera.
What a nice woman she was. Anyway, we're now at the coffee machine, so take a look at this fancy thing. I've never seen one like this before. But what you do is you take your cup of ice, rip off the top of it, put it under the correct machine head, and just simply press the button of the coffee that you want. So I've gone for a iced latte in this case, and check out the machine pouring it. It's just like any other machine coffee, really. Right, let's take our haul outside and see if we can find somewhere to sit and eat it. And my god, it is so warm today. I think my food might melt if I don't find somewhere to eat it soon. Here we are. Let's check out our haul from the store. So, as I said, I got what I hope is a chocolate-filled crepe, but it is very, very heavy. I'm now thinking it might be banana inside that. It's very solid, so we'll find out in a moment. Then I've got a chicken cutlet, which you can get in any of the convenience stores. I've not had a bad one yet, but this will be my first one from a daily Yamazaki, so I'm interested to see what this tastes like. And then I've got my little energy shot and iced coffee. So let's do this. Let's start with the energy shot. Now I know these all taste good. It's just like any energy drink, really. Somewhere between Red Bull and Monster in terms of the taste. So they really do work, because I had 2 one time and my heart started beating quite fast. So they must be loaded with caffeine, but to be honest, I haven't checked. All I know is they taste quite delicious and they give you a good little kick to start your day. That one's interesting. That's almost like a raspberry taste or something. Can't quite put my finger on it. Anyway, let's start with the chicken cutlet. Here we go.
Here you go.
Wow. Actually, I think that's better than any 7-Eleven cutlet I've had. Because the batter on the outside is so incredibly crispy and the chicken is ridiculously juicy. The spice level is just right. It's not spicy, but in terms of like herbs and spices, very, very, very mild. Really taste all the chicken flavour. I'm very surprised. I'm very happy with this chicken cutlet. I did not have high expectations, but this is tasty as. I don't know what it is about the fried chicken in Japan from the convenience stores. It just makes me so incredibly happy. And it's so cheap and so tasty. These are like 250 yen a pop. Right, let's do the big reveal. Let's find out what exactly this is. I can smell banana. I think I've done right here. I think this is going to be a chocolate and banana crepe. Oh wow, look at that. It's actually a chocolate and cream and banana crepe. So, I have to admit, it doesn't look too appetizing. But let's see what it tastes like once I secure all my rubbish. Right. It's alright. I mean, the crepe itself, no real flavour. It's kind of melting your mouth, really, really soft. I think the chocolate and the cream overpower it. And there's just a hint of banana. It's not bad. It's not restaurant quality. And to be honest, if I was looking forward to crepes with bananas, chocolate and cream, I'd be kind of disappointed if I bought this and hoping it would be something special. But if you're on a budget and you're after a crepe, it's not bad. It'll do the job. Now let's try our coffee, which is admittedly looking very watery and milky. So I've not got high expectations. Oh, actually, quite like that. No, that's actually really nice. So normally what I find when you get lattes in Japan is it is very, very milky. There's barely any taste of coffee. It's more like milk, or more like coffee flavored milk. But this actually tastes like a latte, but it is very, very light. So it doesn't feel like a coffee, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've added probably too much sugar to it because it is very sweet. But I am ultimately impressed with the iced latte from Daily Yamazaki. Actually, before I go, I went for another walk around the store there and I found exactly what I'm looking for. This is melon pan, and it is melon pan that is filled with cream. So if you're in Japan, I really, really recommend that you try melon pan. It is a very sweet bread. I'm guessing the sweetness comes from something to do with melon, but the first time I had it was in Osaka and it was filled with ice cream. Now this one is obviously filled with cream. Anyway, let's give this a go and see is this as good as the one I got in Osaka. Immediately yes. Honestly. So typically with melon pan, at least the melon pan I've had, you have a sort of hard textured crusty bread and the inside is incredibly soft and perfectly sweet. Now this one is just completely soft from the shell right to the center, and it is very sweet because it's coated with sugar and filled with cream, and the bread itself is sweet to begin with. So if you're coming to Japan, melon pan, seek it out. If you want to try it cheaply first, come to Daily Yamazaki, because this is incredible. This is exactly what I've been searching for all morning. Shouldn't have got that crepe, should have got this instead. Oh man, it is less than an hour after I recorded that last segment, and it's the 5th of July today, so the summer heat and humidity is in full force in Japan. So I'm going to go to 7-Eleven and get a fruit smoothie, because you can get a fruit smoothie here in a really unique way, and I really need it to cool down, to be honest, because this heat is insane. It's not even the heat, it's the humidity. It is just sucking the moisture out of me. So I think a fruit smoothie will help me out big time. Right, here we go. 7-Eleven fruit smoothie. Let's go. So some 7-Elevens are quite cool in that the way you can buy a cup of ice in every convenience store and make a coffee at the front of the store, some of these 7-Elevens allow you to buy a cup of frozen fruit and make a smoothie in a machine at the front of the store. So here is the 7-Eleven smoothie fridge. This one is not looking too good. It is all blueberry smoothies, but look at the flavors. So you can get a green smoothie, mango and pineapple smoothie, which would have been absolutely delectable right now, berries yogurt smoothie, and a strawberry and banana soy smoothie. Now, all we have left in the fridge is a blueberry smoothie, and honestly that might have been my second last choice, but that's the hand we've been dealt, so that's the hand we'll play. Right, let's get this bought and get a smoothie. Here is our smoothie machine. Let's try and figure out how it works. I think you start by scanning the barcode somewhere on this cup. How cool is that? You can get a freshly blended smoothie in a 7-Eleven. Here we are then, a blueberry smoothie from 7-Eleven. Honestly, it's my first time trying one of these, so let's see what it tastes like. Honestly, wow, I'm really impressed by that. Considering it's frozen fruit, it tastes incredibly fresh. So if you want to get a smoothie on a budget, come to 7-Eleven. Now we'll probably come back to 7-Eleven later in the day to get some more food. But for now, I'm going to go about my day, and I'll catch you guys when I go for lunch. I'm going to go to FamilyMart and try the famous FamilyMart fried chicken. It is honestly the best fried chicken you will ever try. So I'll catch you in a bit. Right, it is time for my favorite meal of the day. It is time for lunch, and we're going to go to my favorite convenience store here in Japan, and I'll show you why it's my favorite convenience store in just a minute. But look who's with me. Nick's here. So he's going to accompany me and probably laugh at me while I make this video in the store. But let's head into FamilyMart, and I'm going to show you why you need to make this your favorite store in Japan as well. Right, so because it is lunchtime, I want to get quite a filling meal, and we're going to go to this little counter here with all these onigiri or kimbap or whatever you want to call them. There are some bento boxes here too, but because this isn't like a big FamilyMart, the selection is quite limited, but the selection of onigiri is quite good. So let's see what we've got. Do you like onigiri, Nick?
Yeah, I love.
What would you recommend?
The all-time classic is the tuna mayo. The pickled plum is surprisingly good.
Okay, we're just trying to decide what kind of onigiri I want as we stand in everyone's way. So a nice Japanese man has seen me looking at these onigiri, and he's recommended a few. So I think I'm going to go for the mackerel, because I've had a lot of mackerel sushi whilst I'm in Japan, and let's see what the mackerel onigiri tastes like. On we go to get a drink. I'm going to show you a very special drink that I've been drinking every day in Japan. In fact, most people drink it every day in Japan. It is I think it's not a sports drink, but it's more like an isotonic drink, because obviously in Japan you're sweating so much every day during summer. So people drink a drink called Pocari Sweat, and you actually get it in Korea too, and it's meant to replenish all the minerals and electrolytes that you lose throughout the day while sweating, and I'm just looking for it. Okay, I've just found the Pocari. It's right here. Honestly, this stuff will be your best friend in Japan. I was introduced to it in Korea. I was told it cures hangovers, and sure enough, my first hangover in Korea had a bottle of this, and it sorted me right out. And ever since then, I've just been scoffing them every single day to replenish all the stuff I've been losing whilst I sweat throughout the day. What do you think about Pocari?
Pocari Sweat.
Yeah.
dining.
Love it.
Curious hangover.
Okay, so there you go. You agree? Yeah. I'm not just talking muck. Right, now I'm going to show you why FamilyMart should be your favorite shop in Japan. Behold the Famichiki Karage chicken. FamilyMart is known and famed for its fried chicken. Now, as I said earlier, every convenience store in Japan has a fried chicken counter where you can pick up fried chicken at any time of the day, but FamilyMart is by far the best that I've tried in all of Japan. So we're actually going to get 2 cutlets in here. So you've got spicy fried chicken, sweet and sour chicken, or chicken with sweet and sour sauce, soy sauce flavored chicken, and the OG fried chicken. I've gone for an OG fried chicken and a sweet and sour sauce fried chicken. We've got our haul. Let's go outside and find somewhere to eat it. Here's our haul. Then we've got a onigiri, either a sweet and sour chicken, and then a fried chicken. So we'll start with the onigiri because I'm feeling like I need some carbs. So the guy in the shop recommended I get either salmon roe or mackerel, and as I said, I've had a lot of mackerel sushi, so I've gone for the mackerel onigiri. So let's give it a go. It's pretty good because mackerel's kind of oily. It's a real nice texture to it, and the rice is sticky, and the nori is just binding all together perfectly. I think really good snack. You can have one of these for lunch and it'll be quite filling. Right, I think we all know what rice and fish taste like. So this is pièce de résistance. This is like, if there's one reason to come to Japan, I would say it's for these. Do you agree? You tried the family chickens?
I haven't tried it actually.
No.
No.
You know what we're gonna do? Here's a better way. I'm going to give you some of the chicken and we're going to get your reaction. So we're going to get Nick's reaction to the fried chicken, because it's all well and good me saying how good it is, but I think if you see someone's first bite in real time, you might be converted yourself. So let's see.
Supposed to be?
So that is just the fried chicken, and let's take a bite and give your honest reaction to it.
That's a solid fight. Can I take another bite?
Yeah, of course you can.
I think I would like it to be a bit more crispy, but it's super juicy, kind of like peppery, really good.
It is just, honestly, it makes me so happy to eat one of those every day. Nick's just made a good point that if you had these little chicken cutlets inside a bap or like a sandwich, it'd be great. And you actually can do that at the counter of the store. I think you just walk up and ask for it. There's actually a sign on top of the counters that allow you to do that, but I've not tried it. I've just been eating these like this, and that's all I need, to be honest. But anyway, this is a sweet and sour cutlet, so let's try this one. Oh, I'm honestly so happy. I've never realized food can make me this happy from like one little chicken cutlet. Can you see the sauce? Honestly, it's class, and there are, I think, garlic and salt flavored ones and soy sauce flavored ones, so you don't have to have straight fried chicken. You can have all the flavors you want. Next, we're going to try the sweet and sour chicken.
Sour chicken. I like this one better.
Really? There's more to it.
Not like with the gravy inside, that's safe.
And so to wash it all down, you have a bottle of Pocari Sweat. Honestly, you're just going to try them when you come to Japan. You'll be drinking it every single day. I can't even describe the taste. There's almost no taste, and it actually looks like a bottle of sweat, but it is just divine. So yeah, as I said in the shop, I don't actually know what it is. It's not like an energy drink, or it's not like an isotonic sports drink or something. It is just something that is marketed as something that will replenish your electrolytes if you lose sweat, and it seems to do the job, but it is very, very tasty. So that is lunch. I'm going to finish my chicken in utter happiness here, and then I'll catch you guys later, probably for dinner or some snacks. Right, it's dinner time and we're back at a 7-Eleven, and I've chosen a 7-Eleven for dinner purpose because the quality of the meals you get in 7-Eleven is very high, and there's a lot that you can choose from. So you see what I can show you. So 7-Eleven has, and in fact most convenience stores have, this big wall of ramen that you can actually heat up in store with a hot water dispenser at the front of the shop. So let's take a look at what we have. This is obviously something that's very, very spicy. You've got some 7-Eleven own brand stuff, and then some other third-party brands. Now, I don't have a clue what any of those are or what any of those say. And I think over here you can get actual ramen bowls too. Yeah. Actual bowl of ramen. And of course you can get your big cup noodles, which are essentially a pot noodle in the UK. So I don't think I'm going to be eating that for dinner tonight, because that is more of a snack for me. Do you know what? think I'll get some form of bento box, and they actually heat up the bento boxes here in store for you as well with a microwave. I think some stores, I know Lawson's have microwaves where you can heat up your own food, but this 7-Eleven in particular, the microwave is behind the counter. So I'm going to buy a bento box, probably another bottle of Pocari Sweat to be honest, and then get the staff to heat the bento box up for me. So what have we got? We've got a rice bowl with beef and onion, a rice bowl with chicken and egg. I think, what's this? A rice bowl with chicken, beef and egg. I mean, they look pretty good and pretty fresh. Another rice bowl, fried rice. I think I found what I'm having. I'm having pork cutlet with egg and rice. And I think this is called gyudon. One thing I want to point out that I did not get to try is, or not get to eat today, is the pork cutlet sandwich. That was my absolute favourite kind of sandwich while I was here in Japan. But I think for me, this is more of a lunch item than a dinner item. But 7-Eleven's pork cutlet sandwiches are elite. All right, let's grab the Pocari Sweat and then it's time to go. I'll tell you what else we'll get. We'll go for a curry pan to go with our gyudon. So let's go and pay. Here is the haul. We've got our pork gyudon, Pocari Sweat, and our curry pan or curry bread. Now, there's not much logic in getting curry bread and what is essentially pork curry with rice, but I've just been craving a curry pan all day, so I think we'll start with that. So, here we go. There's just something about curry inside bread. Honestly, it is so soft, the bread, but it's kind of crispy or crusty on the outside. Not curry. Typical Japanese kind of fruity curry. Don't know what it is about the curry pan from 7-Eleven, but they absolutely slap. Time for the gyudon. Now, some convenience stores in Tokyo and in fact around the country have areas where you can actually sit and eat your food, but a lot of the convenience stores in Tokyo do not have anywhere to sit and eat inside the store. So that is the case with the convenience store I've just gone to, which is why I'm sitting outside on a random ledge beside a car park or something in Akihabara. Anyway, let's get this open. I chose chopsticks to eat this with and it's looking very fluid. Kind of wish I went for the fork or the spoon that the guy offered me in the 7-Eleven. Anyway, let's get it open and we'll see how this tastes. There we go, pork gyudon. Let's give it an old taste test and see how it comes out. This is not going to be the most flattering angle of me, but it's the best I can do given the circumstances. So anyway, let's try the pork cutlet first and see what it tastes like. Well, it's very warm. It's alright. A lot of batter or breadcrumbs and not so much pork. And the pork doesn't feel like it's very high quality. It's not quite stringy, but it's not meaty. It's more like very fat, I suppose. Whereas the other pork cutlets I've had, you're getting a very definite bite of meat. Let's give the rice a try, which is always a fun task with chopsticks. Rice isn't bad. That's soggy. Sticky but soggy. But it tastes fine. I would say it is below rice you cook at home, but above microwavable packet rice. I mean, no one expected Michelin star quality here from a bento box from 7-Eleven, but it's alright. It's passable. Now, the egg in here just sort of disintegrated. It's disappeared. I don't know whether it was microwaved to hell or it's just so thin that when you mix it together, it just, disintegrates. And there are little onions in here too, but to be honest, they are so thin that you can't really taste them or they don't really add any texture to the meal. But I think all in all, as you would expect, a 7-Eleven convenience store dinner is not going to be the most memorable dinner of your life. And that's exactly how I would describe this. It's not memorable. It would see you out of a hole and it is very cheap, but perhaps too cheap. I probably would not be eating too many of these, to be honest. I would probably try and stretch my budget and just have a nice dinner each time. So closing thoughts on the 7-Eleven pork gyudon. It is okay. I would not be running to get another one. I would certainly be annoyed at myself if I went with this instead of going to a cheap ramen shop, for example. So I think the advice from me to you in this case is 7-Eleven is fine for a quick lunch or quick breakfast, but for a good, satisfying dinner, if you're a foodie or someone who prioritizes food, you probably want to stretch your budget and go to an actual restaurant. In fact, you don't have to stretch your budget. I think all of this food, the beef gyudon and the curry pan and the Pocari Sweat cost about 900 yen, 990 yen, and you can get a very good bowl of ramen for that price. And ramen comes with water or tea, so I would probably avoid convenience stores for dinner and go to a cheap ramen shop. That's my opinions on dinner from convenience stores. I'm going to finish this and then I want to go to a Lawson just to get a full picture and show you what sort of products they offer. But for Lawson, I'm going to get some dessert, mainly ice cream. Anyway, let me finish this and we'll get on the road. Right, let's try Lawson. And the door won't let me in. There you go. The doors in the convenience stores do not open right until the last second. You have to basically touch them with your nose before they open. I think it's to keep the heat in because it is so lovely and cold in here. Right, where is the thing I want to show you guys? I have found what I wanted to show you. This is what Lawson is famous for. It is a roll cake, and it's pretty much like a Swiss roll that you get in the UK or Ireland, but instead of ice cream in the centre, what you have is just cream. And to be honest, I wasn't going to get this because this is more of a breakfast item for me, but I think because I'm curious as to what it tastes like, I haven't actually tried one yet, so I'm going to get one and also get an ice cream. Now I want to show you the ice creams that you can get here, and not just in Lawson but in all of the convenience stores, because they are absolutely delicious. These two ice creams are get one feel like I need a sweet treat after dinner, and I love this one in particular because it is like a reverse ice cream. On the outside you've got the cone material, and then you've got lined with chocolate ice cream, and then chocolate core, and it is just so incredibly delicious and satisfying to eat. Now what I recently discovered was this one, which is similar except it is just pure chocolate, so that is exactly what I'm going to get tonight because this is addictive as hell. So let's grab these and we'll head outside. My microphone has died, so I'm going to have to do this last bit without it. But anyway, this is the ice cream I wanted to show you. There's really not much to say about it. I mean, I think we've all had ice cream. We know what ice cream tastes like, but just to put this on your radar for when you come to Japan, I absolutely enjoy it. I'm sure you will when you come here too. So let's get it quickly open because I've been walking out for 5 minutes. I was bound to have melted because it is a scorching day, even at night time. Anyway, this is your ice cream, just like a big bar of chocolate. And if you bite into it, look at that. Look how thick the chocolate is above and below the ice cream. This is honestly one of my favorite little desserts or treats here in Japan, but you don't want to eat too much of these obviously because they're not great for you. Anyway, let me finish this and I'll show you the roll cake. Right, here we go, roll cake. And the guy in the Lawson gave me a little spoon that's kind of like a wee shovel. I don't know what that's for because I fully intend to eat this like it is a sliced cake. So let's get to it. It is very, very soft. And if I flex it, can you see how much that flexes even with me just pushing on the plastic? Yeah, I don't know, maybe that's why he's giving me a spoon. Maybe you just cannot eat this. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to lift that. So here we go then. I guess I'm using this spoon after all. Wow, okay. So it's obviously sponge cake, but everything about that is perfect. It is very, very light. It is a good dessert for someone who doesn't want to feel heavy afterwards. But the cream is very, very sweet. No, I'm kind of sad I didn't discover this until like one of my last days here in Tokyo. It's really not bad at all. So this is actually much better than the dinner I had. So, wow, I think this experience has taught me that convenience stores are much better for snacks and for things like desserts than actually trying to go full budget mode, have your dinner there as well. I think just spend the money on a dinner piece in Japan because really you're not going to save that much more if you eat dinner in a convenience store. I'm going to finish this, find the rubbish bin because there are none in Japan, and then I will do a little sign off. Truth be told, the amount I've eaten in this video is more than I would eat in a typical day. The amount of calories would be equivalent to what I'd eat in 3 days in Japan. It is just too warm for me to be eating meals like that as frequently as I've shown in this video. Anyway, when we finish this, I'll find the bin and I'll do a sign off. There you have it. Can you survive a full day in Tokyo or Japan on convenience store food? And of course the answer is a resounding yes. However, if you were to ask me, should you come to Japan and try and survive solely on convenience store food, my answer would be a resounding no for a number of reasons. To begin with, the food, although it is very cheap and in some cases of decent quality, it is processed and ultra processed. So it is incredibly unhealthy to be eating from a convenience store every single day. I think it is much better to use a convenience store as a stopgap. There are going to be days we were too late for lunch, too late for dinner, you miss the last train back, or you just maybe just want a sweet treat. I think that is the way to use convenience stores. It is for treating yourself, or it is a stopgap in getting your food for the day, because Japan is known for its cuisine. You should not be coming here and trying to go for the food on a budget from a convenience store. You can easily get a cheap bowl of ramen or other food item for the same price that you would get a meal in a convenience store. You just have to know where to look and how to research those places. Anyway, that is the end of the video, guys, so thank you so much for watching. I've had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it or found it useful. And if you have enjoyed it or found it useful, please hit the like button, because that will help YouTube push the video out to other people who might also enjoy it or find it useful. And if you want to keep up to date with all my future videos, please hit subscribe, and YouTube will let you know when I post a video in the future. So thanks once again, and I'll catch you in the next one.